$5,000 cash.
They're cash.
When I started at 500, they said you sold 15, they must go for 100,000 for 500,000. And I started at Campbell.
About time you guys make some
Yeah.
money.
You had to get some of those last top one things.
You started.
Yeah,
Video there,
Yep.
whatever.
Yep, we're ready.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, at 6:30, I call the Spencer County Advisory Plan Commission to order. First item of business on the agenda is approval of minutes. They were kind of lengthy, but I hopefully everybody was able to look through those. Are there any additions or corrections to those minutes that were presented?
There's one thing
Yes.
back here where I made the motion, and then it says, we are giving permission for anything, I suppose it should be not giving, not permission, yeah.
All right. Or not. Okay, you're correct. I missed a word. All right, I'll fix that.
Okay.
Yep.
I would like to ask that for the agenda, are we approving the agenda that is presented?
No. It's approving the minutes from the last meeting.
So when do we approve
We
the
never
proposed?
approved the agenda.
So I would like to ask that we remove the discuss possible moratorium on data centers. One, because the ordinance was a motion from the commissioners meeting to be reviewed by the advisory plan commission. And I don't feel that there was anything discussed in regards to a moratorium at this time.
There was not during the meeting. Jim walked in on his own before the ordinance was given to me.
I'm asking if we could please remove this from the agenda.
Heather, may we back up a minute and
Sure.
approve the minutes, please?
Yes,
Do I have a motion to approve the minutes as presented? With
That one correction.
With the correction James mentioned.
I'll make a motion to approve them.
All right, we have a motion to approve. Do I have a second? Okay, we have a second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All same sign, and so approved. All right. As far as the, agenda goes, I think what we will do is go ahead and review the Spencer County subdivision orders, and we'll take, agenda item 3 and question when we get to that point.
okay.
The Spencer County subdivision ordinance, and the plan unit development proposal. Did you guys all have a copy of that? Did you get a copy? Even though if not, I'm sure we can get you a copy here. And then I'll just open it up to the floor for discussion, a couple of questions I would have, and maybe John, you can help out with this. Is this proposed ordinance going to replace the subdivision ordinance, or is this something that we're adding to it?
It will not replace it. This would be a
Will not
standalone
replace it.
ordinance.
It will be a
Correct, yes.
standalone ordinance.
And bottom line, what this does, as we've talked about before, it puts plan unit developments in the purvey of the plan commission and ultimately the commissioners. They would have to come to us with that preliminary plan. I pieced this together through several jurisdictions. I think it reads very well. A couple little typos in there, which I'll take care of, but I think it's ready to proceed to the commissioners where I can speak with the county attorney and move it forward.
Okay. And again, just for my benefit, because I'm a little dense, the difference between the plan unit development and a subdivision is basically what?
Is basically a development that's on one parcel of ground with multiple
Okay.
structures.
Okay, all the structure are contained on one parcel. Gotcha.
One owner of a parcel.
One owner, yes.
One owner. And basically rental units then,
Rental
is basically what we're looking at.
And if you read through there, we've put together setbacks, minimum widths, green space requirements. I think it's ready to proceed forward.
Well, I do have a question, not on the floor, but I do have a question on open spaces. I mean, somewhere in here I read it had to be a minimum of 1 acre. an open space. Well, if you only got 3 acres you're playing with, you gotta put an acre in green area. I don't know if that's gonna be, very cost effective or not. For me, the open space should be left up to the developer. If he wants to add some open space or green space to his development to attract, clients, that's well and good. I don't know if we should get involved in that or not. I just open it up to the floor for discussion. I mean, that's just a comment I would make.
The thought process of having it in there was, depending on the topography of the ground and the next door neighbors, the surroundings, it would give the plan commission the ability to recommend and ultimately for the commissioners to require green space if the topography warranted it. So it was less intrusive to the neighbors and the residents of the area.
So in other words, that's not a given, that would be part of the plan that would be approved if necessary.
Correct, yes.
I mean, you're just putting that in there as a box that needs to be looked at or checked off.
Gives us the authority to keep that on the table. Correct.
But the plant being in there though, it becomes the rule. You have to come back to the board of zoning appeals to change it.
If we required it at all, there may be certain situations where we don't feel that green space or open
Right.
space is even necessary.
Okay,
And then it's a moot point because it's not something we're requiring.
okay.
It's in there, you have to come, you have to bring a pre-plan, finalized plan, everything, there's a lot of checks that has to go through before it ever gets finalized, so that could be.
Yeah.
That could be negotiated, I guess.
And that would be correct, and that would be a case by case basis too.
I'd say leave it in there then.
And then the development area, I know we list B1 and B2, and then all other districts. I mean, can residential be in that, could A be part of that?
That would be part of the all other districts. And I took that together. I looked at multiple jurisdictions, probably 4 or 5 of them, and that's where they had come down on. So I felt like that was reasonable.
Okay. If somebody goes out near town and buys 10 acres and wants to put some units on it, I mean, how would that play out, say it's ag ground?
You could build on that ground, you could go in and build a house on that ground. So
So could you build a PUD on ag ground?
Yeah, I think so, we could do it like this with,
With
under
this
all other
word
districts.
you would be able to, you think?
Yeah.
Depending on the available
Mhm.
sewer access.
Well, yeah, well,
or
I mean, all the
the
other stuff would have to
septic
play in,
would-
which I really didn't have a problem with.
That's up to the developer to figure it out and make it work. If they can't, then
Water,
it's not
sewer,
gonna happen. So
Streets, egress, all that,
Oh,
I
yeah.
have no issue with it.
They're gonna have to spend some money to be in
Those
compliance.
couple things just kind of jumped out at me that
Sure.
I just wanted clarification on. I'd open up the floor for other folks, if you guys have questions or comments.
I didn't see anything, I may have missed it, I didn't see anything in here about water for suppression, for fire suppression. I think it needs to be I mean, not only this, but any kind of subdivision, I mean, this needs to play into both, that there needs to be, there needs to be a fire hydrant every 500 foot, and needs to have 500 gallon a minute, at least, of water capacity to do that. Because these new houses burn extremely fast, and the help on the fire side is extremely slim, especially in the daytime. So if you have to haul water into a job like that, it's a total loss right off the bat. So, like I said, I didn't see it in here, I'm not saying I didn't miss it, but.
Well, they're not, the pages aren't numbered, but there is a section here that states that, the following agencies have to review it: highway department, police department, fire department,
Right,
parks and recreation department.
yeah, I saw
That would
that,
be up to fire department to recommend what size, you guys would know how many gallons a minute you need if there was 5 units there, what the requirements would need, I do not know, so.
it needs to
And
be,
then that might vary from development to development too, so it would just have to be up to the fire
so does that,
jurisdiction, I guess.
so does it need to be in there that that the approval will be pending on them approving it, that'd be part of it. I would think so.
That's kind of
Yeah,
how I read
I read
that's kinda
that.
how
Well, I
I
said,
read it.
well, I know it said they can review it, but it didn't really give them any swing on it. the way I
Just to
read it.
review and comment, and I guess they would come.
Well, I
back,
guess,
you know.
yeah, I guess that's right.
How did we do didn't we do something like with the battery and like last year with the solar panel? It had to be contingent on the fire department,
Yes.
could that be the same kind of
Yeah.
recommendation or
Yes.
whatever language we used on that added to that?
Yeah, it needs to be added. I mean,
I can make that addition.
You remember what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
I
John,
do,
with the-
I do. Mhm.
And I would say all four of those departments would need a say, you know, more than just comment, they need to sign off on it and say, yes, this is what we're.
You're just suggesting that they review it, you're not putting it in the specifications.
And we would make a little change in there that approval is contingent upon their input being put into the preliminary plan.
Recommendations.
I think that makes
I
sense.
like that as well. Yeah, it's kind of broad, right?
Yeah, so I think it needs to, they need to be,
They need to sign off.
Fire chief association needs to sign off on it, because it's fire departments get sued every single day for stuff like that, so.
They give us their written findings and approval. Yeah,
It needs to be, that's kind of the basics of it.
yeah, absolutely.
So, like I said, I think that since we're talking about, I know we're on this HUD deal right now, but I think it needs to be on both. Whether it's actually subdivision or this, either way, that needs to be a factor in that.
I'll take care of it.
I don't-
Yep.
Shouldn't really be up for question.
Thank you.
That poses a risk to not only I mean, it helps with people's insurance too. The more fire hydrants you have, that helps your insurance rate too. So, but these houses are built, the stuff burns so quick now that one house can go to three if they're within close proximity.
Exactly.
One can turn into three extremely quick, so then it can keep going, so that needs to be a major point in this on both sides.
I appreciate that information.
I'll make that alteration in the morning and get that out. Yeah.
So since we're reviewing it in a meeting today, do we have to pass it in this first meeting in case?
Not at all.
Okay.
Yeah, we can keep looking at it. I think it's getting pretty close. I like the
Yeah.
language, but, well, we can look
For
at it
the
another
most part, I thought it was.
Yeah, for the most part, it looks pretty good, so there's things that need to be discussed, like you're presenting that. So we got two revisions we're gonna make, is that right? For now, I guess.
Heather, is this something the commissioners are looking forward to getting, or?
I think that it's only been brought up in this setting, when we were, waiting for John's review,
I didn't
So
know
I
that
don't-
it's something that the commissioners was, pressing to get feedback from this.
No. I mean, I think that these documents are, what are helpful to the administrator in, there is a lot of development that is coming our way and new things that, I think Kay's been presented with things in the past couple of years that maybe were new to her job. Totally, not?
Well, some, because we hadn't done different things for a long time in the county.
So I
And
think
not since I-
new documents like this are helpful.
They gotta be user friendly, we can't struggle. I think they have to be somewhat user friendly, we can't.
Right,
And they're not reasonable.
right, I agree.
Do you think this is reasonable?
Most of it, I think if you get back into hired a professional state licensed landscaper. I'm not sure whether that,
Was
that's
that,
all according to how big the projects are built.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
Small
Frank. I
5
mean, a
acre, 2
small,
acre, 3 acre.
right,
Now, if you're gonna go out there and build a shop center and all that stuff.
right.
But
Yeah, you're kind of comparing apples and oranges really to a small project, versus a big one.
You know, something that's-
especially in the development stage, if you're paying professionals, it gets expensive.
you know, something that's similar to this is the, Lincoln Pines at Santa Claus, that is an Airbnb, property. But it's very similar to what we have, except we didn't have this document at that time.
Yeah.
But that's a one parcel with, I'm not really sure how many units. There are several, I wanna
They
say.
put usually 2 or 3.
15,
more up every
20.
year.
If it were being built today, it would be subject to
Yes,
this PUD.
yes.
Yeah. The bottom line is it gives this board in an advisory capacity and ultimately the commissioners the power to have jurisdiction over these things and look at them on a case-by-case basis. And there may be some things in the preliminary plan that we just have to have on this project and not on another project. But it gives those boards the opportunity to put those things in place.
And Heather just raised another question. Okay, so are you doing this, does this apply to short-term rentals, like a hotel or bed and breakfast? Or
Well, I
is
think
this,
that's
or
a-
does this just apply to a residential, permanent residential type construction?
I
think we have
I mean, because you're talking about two different types of
We have other
Development.
ordinances for like the hotel and stuff, and this shows like the parking lots, how much they have to have a certain amount of handicap spaces like that.
Well, and it has to have a state design release for a
Yeah.
commercial
Oh, yeah.
piece of property.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a
So
bit of
there
a
is
difference, I
some
think this is
difference.
different.
We did one, there is one in place, and it's probably been, Kay, you might not even been here.
The hotel out there.
We addressed Airbnb,
Oh, we did address that one, yes.
There's an ordinance or something.
there is.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yep.
I think something that comes to my mind is, there's a property off of County Road 700 right out of Mariah Hill that is similar to this, and I'm not for sure if those were parceled out or not. There that,
Oh,
Mr. Gogol
yeah.
owns, I can't think of his first name. He put up some duplexes. No,
Oh,
not David,
I know, it's in Mariah Hill, I know Zach, he's,
maybe.
he might be him, but he came and got,
He parceled his out.
so that, like I said, I'm pretty sure he did, and he got this, yeah, it's totally, so it's
I guess,
Looks like it,
Frank,
but it's not.
you're unique to this project,
exactly,
so.
Frank, you need.
And this is how I look at it as a, member of this board. It's a guideline to help our administrator when this type of development comes in front of her to present what she needs to do for her job as a representative of this county. So do we just need to review it on the first reading, or how?
We can use today as the first reading, and then I'll make those changes, get it sent back out, and we can look at it at our next meeting, and then vote to recommend it to the commissioners at that point.
Well, if Frank's concerned about the landscaping, could we not do a little, say, have a landscape plan prepared by a registered landscape architect licensed? Like, can we,
What is it?
like, it's on whatever page, under,
I didn't get numbers on the pages.
it's on section 4, on the back page, and it's number 4 on the second, back page. It's that application process, procedure, and it goes through all this stuff. proposal
What's
process,
the section we're looking for?
Part about the landscaping,
I mean, what
it's
section?
under section 4, application
Section 4.
procedure. Yeah.
It says, the fourth, it's section C, line
Four
4.
C.
Yes,
Yes,
C,
section C.
section 4, then it'd be C under section 4, yes.
And then line 4, yeah.
And line 4 being at the top of that page.
Yeah, yes. Good job, Mike. Or you could possibly take that out about having to have a landscape architect to do that.
Go to the next top page, it's, section C.
I can have it. I can search everything.
Frank, what do you think on that? I mean, you brought it up, but,
Yeah,
I mean, I don't, we're just looking for comments and things that need to be addressed here.
Because there's several people that you can get to give you a landscaping plan, but they might not necessarily be registered landscape architects.
Right.
You know,
It could be for
yeah, there's several.
somebody, the
Yeah,
landscaper present as part of
Yeah.
the package.
Yeah.
You know,
we
it may not be
can
a,
take that stipulation, I made them all
Yeah,
that stuff,
I-
out of it,
it may
possibly.
not be a registered Indiana licensed architect.
I use that from several other jurisdictions, but I agree with that. You know, that's, we're not trying to run development off. We're just wanting
No.
control over it.
Yeah.
And so that's one thing we
If we
can.
have somebody else, you know, whoever come in and do one.
I went to horticultural school and did landscape professional back in the early days, and so, but I don't understand.
Just have some kind of CAD drawing for it. It's-
Yeah, something like
That's
this.
simple.
Yeah.
So that's what they had for out there at the medical center out there by the,
Hotel.
the one by the bank.
Freedom Bank.
And they had, you know, they sent it to me and I'm like, when I had to, they had to change the parking lot because there wasn't enough handicap spots, a couple things and they, you
You're
know.
talking the one right east of Freedom Bank?
Yes, that one,
Is
just,
it ever gonna open?
who knows, I don't
A
know.
lot of weeds and Johnson grass
They
growing
need, they need.
around.
They have a lawsuit going on right now.
Oh, it's a real
Lawsuit.
Is it, before we get off track here, is everybody in agreement with, taking out the licensed architect?
Yeah, as long as there's some kind of,
As long as they have a.
some kind of
They
actual,
still have to have a landscape.
some
plan.
kind of
It's
actual
not
drawing,
like-
not just on notebook paper, but an actual
Part of the,
professional
right,
CAD
right.
drawing, 2D or 3D, whatever.
So plan commission can visually see what it's gonna look like.
Got it.
Any other comments or concerns? So currently we have the fire hydrant or water supply and fire issue. We have the landscaping issue. I thought there was one more.
Open space.
Open space, I just brought that up. I mean,
What does it look like?
I'm not sure what to do with that. I just thought that would maybe be over.
I think that'd be area dependent.
Probably.
I think it needs to be a part of it, but, you know, it could be, if you're in town and you're gonna build something on Main Street, you know, you may not have an acre.
That's what I'm saying.
But if you're gonna build out, like, I'm just, Frank's place for an example, if you're gonna build out there, you're gonna build
But I think.
commercial on the front, you know, then, yeah, you need to leave a little something on the ends to.
John kinda answered my question. I mean, he's.
And we can flush that out a little bit,
Yeah,
and
we
just
can.
saying open space, comma, in the event that open space is required.
Yeah, something like that. I'd feel better if that's something like that personally. Cause every situation is gonna be a little different.
Right, so how do you word that to where you have some,
I think John probably words required.
Yeah.
Open space were required.
well, that's what I'm saying, but, you know, where would it be required, you know?
Well,
You can play it all day long, you know? So when you guys go cut trees, you know, you gotta have You gotta have people on the road blocking traffic if it's required. Well, is it required on the gravel road? Is it required on the hot, you know what I mean?
Right.
That's an opening. I think we probably need to be worried about. If we're gonna put it in there, we need to make it sound good. So. Not to make it complicated, but if we're gonna do this, let's do it right.
You might explore that with John.
I'll play with the wording a little bit, but I know what the intent is, yeah.
But I understand what.
You know what I mean? If we leave it open, then there's no reason to even have it in there to begin with.
Any other comments or questions? If not, we'll let John work on that and get it drafted up and back to us, and we'll review those changes at our next meeting then, and if everything's in order, then we'll bring it to the table for vote. That sounds good.
Just for the minutes, I'd just ask for a motion to treat today's meeting as the first reading of the PUD ordinance.
Okay,
I'm not getting this.
Tyler makes that motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a couple seconds. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you, Tom. That,
We'll keep it moving.
yeah, we'll keep it moving that way, that's right. Thank you.
Got that two readings.
We can recommend it to the commissioners on the second reading.
Second reading.
Yeah.
When's next meeting?
Which brings, okay, that brings us to our third agenda item, and, Heather, you had questions or comments on that as far as?
I do, I just would like to ask that, and I'm asking the question, when something is asked to be put on the agenda, isn't there a date of must be presented by the first Thursday of the month?
First Wednesday.
I'm sorry, Wednesday.
Mm.
So that's why I'm asking that we remove line number 3. And yeah, at this point,
Yeah, that's fine.
That's my request.
What's the purpose of a moratorium?
So we can say, it's like we did with the solar ordinance, solar stuff for a while, we had like a year moratorium before we got the final ordinance done to finish up. That way they couldn't come in and do anything for that year.
Where did this, come from?
Jim Saddle.
Okay.
Then of course, you have a deadline for when you have
Was
to
it
get
in,
everything.
was it in time of the deadline?
Yes, it was.
It was not.
It was, he came to my office, it was the way before you date Josh.
Okay, I guess in that
Yes.
sense,
Yes.
don't you think
What's
that
the
that should have
deadline
been
for
brought
doing that?
The
before?
deadline is always the first Wednesday of the month at noon for anything for BCA or Plan Commission.
First Wednesday of the month.
Yes, by noon. And then I have to get them done and get them to the paper like basically the next day, so it gets in there in time before our meeting. Yeah, he came in prior to the ordinance through Josh or anything.
I guess my belief would be it would need to be discussed in a commissioners meeting before one commissioner can bring a moratorium to be discussed in this setting. I'm gonna have to ask legal at this point, because that was not discussed.
We've
and-
had, and I understand that, what we've had in the past where a commissioner, I can't really point to anything off the top of my head, has requested to come before the plan commission. I have no problem with it going to the commissioners first and then sending it back to the plan commission for review.
What's the standard whenever we put stuff on the agenda? Do we have a standard or do we have to follow, or can anyone ask to be placed on the agenda for certain topics? I guess where does that fall in?
Well, that most people do not ask to be on it. We've never really had much, I mean, occasionally a commissioner will say, you'd like us to look at, X, Y, Z, whatever it would be. But otherwise, it's usually if we're working on ordinance or rezoning, that's what this board deals with. We don't deal with a lot of other stuff. Where the Board of Zoning Appeals deals with more everyday stuff because of special permitting and
guess we're just like discussing it, or I guess if there's not stand, like, I know, like with council, like whoever comes in and talks to the auditor, they'll put it on the agenda
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
And I guess that's, if you know what they're gonna talk about, we're just gonna say, okay, assuming you're not on the board, but go, Justin wants to talk, and I said you come in and talk about whatever, we have to know what it's about.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we just like to have a clue what's going on.
But Heather,
before
you're
we start.
saying, since it wasn't brought up in the commissioner meeting, you don't feel like it should be added to the agenda?
That is correct. I don't even know that we were presented with an ordinance of the data center prior to
You weren't.
July 16th, or June 16th, which was our last meeting.
He came here before the deadline, which was whatever it was, June something. I mean, I don't know, and that's between you all. We talk about stuff, you know, I mean, I don't, he came to us before June 3rd. I don't know why. We went, okay.
My only request is we remove it from the agenda. And that's not a public document with this agenda stating line item number 3. I would like to make a motion that we remove.
We have a motion to remove line item 3 from the agenda. Do I have a second at this time?
We're not talking about it.
Hmm?
We're not talking about this.
No. We just did say we're gonna take that line off of
If
the,
we're removing the
agenda.
agenda, we,
If we're not talking about it, take it off, I guess.
pardon me?
That's the whole point of the vote, that we're gonna take it off the agenda or not.
can that be done, John?
Absolutely. In fact, I think we should, because I didn't even know there was an ordinance that was created out there.
Take it off.
So,
No, thank you, you do now, so I gave it to you.
Thank you.
Should we just second?
I really didn't.
July 16th, it was on the commissioner's table.
Who made the second for that?
Nobody.
Nobody yet, okay, I'm sorry.
I think
Tyler did, okay,
Tyler
thanks, Tyler.
formally second that.
Yeah, I'll.
Okay, so
Okay.
we have a motion and a
Hear you,
second,
I'm
so
sorry.
at this time, is there any other discussion?
I guess going forward, we need to have a structure if we're going to not allow anyone to come in. So does, moving forward, do we need to have, if we put something on the agenda and he goes to the commissioners first and then the commissioners recommend what goes on our agenda? Cause if we're
That
gonna
will
start cherry
delay-
picking certain stuff of what
It's
goes on the
gonna,
agenda or
it's
not.
going to delay some meetings.
That's why
If
my,
anybody's in a
was the
timeframe,
the PUD, was that presented to the commissioners and then, so that's where I'm
Exactly.
struggling a little bit.
Okay, so this is where I'm gonna explain this, and I need assistance from our legal counsel. I'm pretty sure a moratorium is only discussed at a commissioner's level. But I need IC code language because I was not prepared to bring that information today. And that is, moratoriums are discussed at a commissioner's level.
I can provide Indiana code on it. I obviously don't have it on me.
I
But,
mean, I can go review it as well, but I agree that we're not prepared to discuss the IC code in regards to a moratorium. In regards to the data center ordinance that was reviewed on June 16th commissioner meeting, which was on the first reading and asked to be reviewed by this board, misses the deadline of the June 3rd agenda presentation.
which we would have that on the July agenda.
And that's where,
Well, I know this board has discussed moratorium before on solar panels because I was part of that discussion.
well, do you think it was discussed at the commissioner's level first and then
No.
presented to this board?
I think this,
I don't think so.
I don't think it was
I
talked
think
about
this
in
board
meetings.
was in charge of coming up with it, it's to present to the commissioners.
Okay,
If
I
we
guess
had-
my next question is, if a commissioner recommended the agenda item, again, I think that's where we need to review our IC code. Minus number 3 these items that are on this agenda today were reviewed at our last meeting for this board. If an item needs to be put on this agenda, I do think that there is a policy that Kay reviews by the first Wednesday of every month, so it can be presented on this board. So she can follow the codes to present to the public for review prior to this meeting.
So are you saying that any agenda item has to be approved by the commission before it comes to the board?
No, I'm not.
Okay, I'll
I
say
am
that.
saying that, and maybe I have this all wrong, except it appears to me that a person who, if they came in last Tuesday and needed something to be reviewed by this planning commission, it would not be presented in today's agenda because it was not met by the certain timeline of the first Wednesday of every month.
That's correct.
That's my only.
Could they come in during a meeting and discuss it but not get no approval?
We never have.
We have not, unless it's formally on the agenda, it's not.
So the date that's on here for this legal notice is not, doesn't meet the criteria you're talking about? Cause this is a legal notice, so what in the paper, is it not?
Yes, yes.
And I guess what was the criteria that was requested and how was it requested on or before noon of June the 3rd? That's what I'm trying to say.
Jim Seiler walked in my office and said he'd like us to discuss it. I don't know why. He asked, we've talked about moratoriums with the solar, like Bill said, so we put it on the agenda.
I'm asking to make a motion that we remove item number 3.
We have that motion. And we
And we've
have a
had a
second.
second.
We're discussing, I'm gonna call for the vote if everybody is, unless somebody wants to object anything else. All in favor of removing line 3, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Raise your hands, please. Get a count. 1, 2, 3, 4. All opposed, no. 2, 3, 3 no, 4, 3. So we will remove that item this time.
That's like 4 to 4, because we got 8 people. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
We have to, that's be 4 to 4.
that's
Can we do the
4 to 4.
ayes again, please?
Oh,
Maddie,
sorry.
we already have a-
4 to 4.
Or did you vote yes or no?
Do we have 8 here?
Yes, we did. 3, 4, 5, 6,
Oh,
7,
okay.
8.
I guess I forgot to count myself.
Jesus. Okay.
All right, let's do this again. Do I need to vote?
You do.
Yes, you have to vote.
Okay.
And for the record, I obviously don't have a vote, but I think that it's warranted to take it off at this point in time, because I didn't even know there was an ordinance out there that was looked at. I haven't seen it, so with that being said, it's not the moratorium ordinance.
Not that one, no,
No.
we were gonna come up with that.
Okay.
Okay.
Does that help everyone out a little bit? John's comments? Okay, we're gonna vote again since we tied that. I didn't count myself the last time, so we were tied, so all in favor of removing agenda item 3 at this time, raise your right hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. So hopefully we're gonna be tied again.
No, there's 5.
Oh, is there? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay.
Okay.
And opposed, no. 3, okay, so 5-3. And that motion does carry then.
Yes.
All right, any other older new, that item will be removed then from the agenda. Is there any other older new business that needs to be discussed at this time?
Well, kind of going back off that, can we try to get better structure of how we do that sort of thing, of who we limit, who can be added to agenda, so we don't deal with that? Could be something the commissioners have to discuss.
I'm not sure it's a matter of when.
Think it should go before the commissioners.
The time deadline is the main concern I think that we have.
Well, I mean, if a commissioner though, I guess I was kind of the commissioner did come in before the deadline.
Yes.
But if there's a stipulation under that we wanna go, like, it has to be, if a commissioner brings it up, then all of them have to be discussed it before a commissioner meeting before being presented to us, I guess. So what you're saying is Jen brought it to you before the deadline, which is commissioner, but Heather's concern, which I hear, is that it wasn't discussed to them until after the deadline, right? Is that what I'm understanding it?
Apparently, yeah.
So I just don't want, I wanna make sure I'm very strict to the point, and I wanna make sure we're following. If we're gonna set the standard now, we need to be following along with it.
Any other old or new business?
I don't think so.
I got one from the last commissioners meeting, I want to get, I'm very proactive versus reactive. So when I was in here, Grandview Solar representative was here, said they have an ILP
They do not.
for sure.
I'm 100%
Okay.
do not.
Okay, so
Please hold
they're under the impression they do. Do we just wait for that to come up where they need to do? They're under the impression, I
Well-
don't wanna cause issues.
They do
Right
not have
before.
one. They have filed the applications, but they were never completed. So you have to complete them. Just because you give me a piece of paper that's filled, that doesn't mean it's
Okay.
done. And then on top of that, even if they had got them, they're past the deadline. It would have expired. So
So,
they don't, either way you look at it.
but again, difference in opinions between me and Solar. However, if they're under the belief that they have something from the county and we're saying we don't, do we feel like we need to communicate with them to clarify stuff, or what does this board think needs to happen on that, or do we wait for them to, I don't know. I think that's gonna be an issue that's gonna come about if they ever start doing construction and
I
like, hey,
guess
you
we
don't
need
have a
to
permit.
contact them and say, you don't have anything.
So that's something that.
I mean, I guess
think
that's what
is
we
gonna-
do, because they don't have one, and even if they did, it would have expired by now.
Yes, sir.
So
Long expired.
you got a double whammy there.
He is
So,
from a different board.
do we, is it the same people that we've talked to before, or is there somebody different?
The guy that came, I talked to him before, his name is Mark Brill, and he was the
Okay,
one
I
that
remember
spoke on behalf, and then.
Yeah.
And I know, like, whenever I was coming in, that was all a pretty heated discussion and dealing
Yeah.
with it, and,
But I do remember him, Justin.
I just wanna prevent issues moving
I'll contact
forward.
him.
So I see that coming,
You're probably correct.
That's
I'll
what I just wanna-
contact him, let him know.
So there has been a request in the commissioners meeting, and I would ask that we refer to this subject with Mark Brill.
Yeah.
At that level. Only because that's where it's been presented.
So you don't want him to tell him he has no permits?
I think that is where it's being handled at the commissioner's level. It never has been brought to this board. So my recommendation in your role is, no, I don't think that you
Right.
should
Don't handle
contact
it,
this
Justin.
person. That's my opinion in regards to being a member of this board. It was not presented to this board, but again, I'm gonna have to refer to our legal counsel.
Well, I've also been I know Justin asked before, Max asked me if they have permits, you know. If I'm supposed to have a job to do, you're gonna tie my hands if I can't tell them yes or no, you don't have one.
Well, from my standpoint, the giving of the ILP is an administrative duty that the plan commission handles. So I don't think it would be, improper by any standard for Kate to contact the guy and let him know. You don't have one. If you did, it's long expired at this point. Because again, that's an administrative duty that falls upon this office.
At this time, this issue, has been presented to the commissioners. It has been reviewed by the commissioners' legal counsel with communication. And I'm advising that is where this issue is at this moment. If you feel that it needs to come to this planning commission before it does anything at the commissioner's level, I think that that is something that this board should make a recommendation of. But at this time, it's being reviewed at the commissioner's level.
The fact that they don't have the permits,
They're looking at their new decommissioning plan, they're redoing the decommissioning plan, and that's what's before the commissioners.
So you guys are talking about what they don't have an ILP?
No, they're not talking about that, they're working on decommissioning.
That's the only part I'm concerned about. I can reach out to them. It's not that big of a deal. I have communication with them.
So
Thank you.
in this subject, if there isn't an ILP, why don't we have a document that is reviewed by this board showing where K has the proper dates showing that it has expired, instead of we're just
If
We're
they have it,
just stating these words without the fact in front of us.
I mean, if they say they have an LLP, I don't think they would have any issue providing me with a copy of it. I mean, they went before everyone here and said that they have one, which is,
I don't think there's anything wrong with you getting a copy, except when we're sitting at this board, I do feel that we need facts in front
Fast
of
forward,
us.
it expired in 1 year. It's been way more than a year.
Don't you think that we should review the document to verify exactly what you're saying?
Okay.
Which I think would clear up what you're asking, correct?
I just, if they have one, they have one. If they don't, they don't. I just want clarification because there seems to be a incongruence between both parties that I can see it causing an issue. Potentially, if the project's able to proceed, I think there's still going on with ongoing court. But I'm always a proactive person to try to fix things before they come to fruition. That's all I'm trying to do.
If they call in, Kay, and ask information, her job as administrator can say, you don't have a permit, period.
Yeah.
If they want to go further than that, then they need to go to the commissioners, or the council, wherever. She, as administrator, she should have the ability, permission to tell them, no, you don't have that permit.
And I wholeheartedly agree. I'm just saying that they're announcing to everyone that they have a ILP through the town of Grandview.
Right, I understand.
And they have one through Spencer County, and then come to find out whenever I'm
Well-
doing, they don't, and then,
And I don't know
But
about
they're-
Grandviews, but Grandviews, they have a time limit on theirs also.
There's,
I mean, I don't know.
I just, if they have it, they have it, if they don't, they don't. It's,
no, it's just them talking, they don't really have it.
So they haven't started and done anything?
No, got tied up in court and it's still in court right now.
so if they don't, it's
Well, I
obviously.
do
they-
know our ordinance states that if there's no activity in 12 months, it's done.
Yeah.
You reapply.
12 months.
And I know that's a lot longer.
It's been years.
I don't have to see no documents, but I was sitting.
I don't disagree that it's been longer than 12 months, but I think for the record, we
There,
should-
there is no permit. I can almost assure you there's no permit if there's no activity, because that's in the ordinance. So, I mean, that's kind of their due diligence as well, to keep up with that. That's really not our job.
I guess like the only thing, if they think that proceed, I guess who would be the person holding them accountable? Would we be the bodies like, hey, you don't have an active permit, would that be a commissioner's thing? Like, are we, I guess, I don't know, I don't know what happens at that point if they're under the understanding that they do have one, whose body or whose responsibility is it, like, hey, like, let's try to resolve this. I guess that'd be the only question I have with it. That I could see just exacerbating into a bigger issue than what it is. That's only my intent, is trying to prevent issues that's gonna cause a whole bunch of other stuff. But as long as the body's gonna enforce it, or when that time, if it ever comes, I'm totally okay with letting it go.
As long as it's on paper and dated, that they don't have it, or it's expired, whatever date, as long as you have a copy of that, then it is what it is. I think it's pretty simple, originally, make it 10 times harder than it needs to be.
Thank you.
But just,
Well, I would think, if I I'm just thinking as a business person, and if I had a permit that expired, out of common courtesy, I would hope the agency would say, hey, your permit's expired.
Right.
I mean, we get a letter from DNR when we get time to renewal, hey, your renewal date's coming up. If you want to continue spraying herbicide, you better have it in, or you're not going to spray herbicide.
Yeah.
So as a professional courtesy, I think it would be appropriate to let them know that they no longer have a permit.
Time's expired.
The time is, your permit is expired through lack of inactivity. If they need a reason. I mean, there's nothing happened there.
No, nothing at all.
So according to the ordinance, it's 12 months has passed. I have no problem with letting them know that. I think that would be a common courtesy from this board. If they're in fact under the impression that theirs is still valid, and assuming that is correct.
So it's a legal recommendation.
I think Kate has the right, or she does have the right, because it's administrative duty of this office. So she's within her right to contact them, and I think that's what should happen.
And how do you recommend that? Do we write a letter? Do we have documentation showing that we contacted them?
I think we should have a letter. We've got, I
think
assume we have
by
this,
certified mail.
this contact information for this, for
If
Mark.
I mean, most of the things that Kate sends out on these things is by certified mail. You gotta sign it, you got it.
Sign, stamp,
I mean, if she
date.
sends
Yeah.
stuff out to join landowners, it's all certified mail. So
This
I'd follow the
definitely have
normal
to.
protocol on that and send it out, just adjust it, clear the water, say, hey, you got to come back and review this thing if you want permit.
I think they need to wait until the court's all settled.
Well, that's what I mean.
And that's down the road a good deal.
I agree with Justin, clearing this up now is a good time to do it. It's no use waiting.
So since we're on that topic, do we need to make it, does this need to be a thing we put in place that if any permits get filed and whenever they expire within, I don't know, a month, a week, a year, 3 months, whatever it is, your permit is coming for expiration on such and
I
such
will
date?
say-
It's already on my ILP, right? 12 months if nothing gets
And
there.
most, honestly, it surprises me, but most people that have got a permit to build a house or a pole, when they start getting close and they know, they come in and renew them, which surprises me, because
Right, I'm just saying,
they do it ahead of time.
So-
Shocking to me.
I guess, just let me clarify too. So what, at any point, if they got a IOP, but now it's not active because it expired, is that what I'm hearing you say? Okay, so they did get one at one
Well,
point.
they did not get one, but I'm going with that, they say they had one, we'll go, okay, they have one, but it's expired, so they don't have one.
Okay, all right.
Does that make sense?
But if they didn't have one, there's no reason to say they didn't.
Well, I mean, we're just gonna go no, they do not have one. I double checked after everybody contacted,
There, they did not have
but
it done.
They never did have one?
no, they sent the paperwork and they never got the permit.
Okay, so then it's,
Well, that's kind of hard. They never even got a permit ever. That's a whole different.
that's what I'm saying, you can't say something's expired if they never got the driver. Your driver's license won't expire if you never got one.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I guess that's right too.
It's not,
Yeah.
Good
you know,
point. Okay. I'll look in that one.
next.
All right. Any other new business? Hearing none, I have a motion adjourned as part of the public meeting, and we'll move into executive session.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, we have a motion, we have a second.
I'll second it.
We have a second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we are adjourned, and, yep, you shut that thing down, and we'll move into the executive session right quick.